What's up, Scooby Scream fans? First and foremost, I just wanted to thank y'all so much for all of the support yesterday with what was going on with TikTok. It is now back up and running here in the US. I have already posted some new videos today. What a change up from yesterday. But the good news is I'm going to continue to be posting at least a couple of videos a week on YouTube. I really want to make this a primary place for my content, especially as we move closer to Scream 7. If you haven't already checked it out, please check out my video from yesterday, which is my comprehensive, up-to-date ranking of the Scream franchise. It is a deep dive into all 6 films, and I hope you enjoy that. It's 30 minutes full of content. Let me know your thoughts and ranking in those comments. But yeah, thank you so much for all of the support regarding TikTok that you guys showed me on here, on X, on IG. It just really meant a lot, and I'm just super, super grateful. And we are past 600 subscribers now on YouTube. I think I've been on here for 5 or 6 days, which is just amazing. Again, I never thought I would really have a YouTube presence, so it's just super exciting to be making content on here now. But today's video, I wanted to keep somewhat brief because yesterday's was so long, but I wanted to talk about a couple of really interesting rumors and potential pieces of information that have sort of emerged regarding Scream 7, specifically the character of Gale Weathers, an aspect of the film that we might be seeing, which is the idea of there being a mental hospital facility and a patient in that facility involved in the film somehow. There was a potential photo, a set photo or production photo that came out of a space that they were possibly filming at that was a mental hospital location that I believe was called Fallbrook, which could be the name of the city that we are going to be in, to be determined which state this will be set in or around, but we know that they were filming in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And so, yeah, I want to talk about what Scream 7 could mean for Gale based on this new information that we have, as well as what we could be exploring with Sydney and the character that Anna Camp, who you may have heard is joining the cast, the character that she may be playing, because her character could be a very interesting tie-in to the past of the franchise. I do want to warn that some of what I'm going to say could be spoilery potentially, and just remember this is all speculation, this is all stuff from the rumor mill. We will not know if any of it is true whatsoever until February 27th of 2026, when this film is going to be released. So with that being said, let's get into it. So this is the information that we have, and I want to thank my friend Critical Overlord on here on YouTube for some of this information that he heard from a source through the grapevine. Again, total speculation, could be true, might not be. So we already know that Gale is going to be part of the focus of this film in addition to Sydney. But it is looking likely or potential that Gale's morning show that she was the anchor of, that we saw in Scream 5, and she was presumably still anchoring in Scream 6, there's a good chance that that show ended. And that could be, partially because of the trauma and the horror that she experienced with her attack in Scream 6, that either she had to step down or they canceled it because she couldn't do it. Who knows, but hopefully that is something we will explore. It is also likely that maybe she is taking a break from her career, which I know is tough, but she might be having some trouble moving on from what happened to Dewey in Scream 5 still, and really missing him, especially after the events of Scream 6 and not having him there to help her through, that horrible experience. We also know that Gale and Sydney are very likely going to have to meet and work together and be together in this film. So there is a rumor / piece of speculation that there is a mental patient, someone who is experiencing some mental impairment, some issues, who's in this facility, who possibly escapes, who, I know this is wild, but let me put it out there, who Gale, when she is visiting Sydney, wherever Sydney is living, Gale accidentally might hit this mental patient resulting in the loss of the patient's life. This is the rumor that is out there. This also may be taking place right outside of Sydney's home, where she, Mark, and her kids live. How that ties into the rest of the movie, I will speculate in a bit. We also do know, potentially, that there is going to be a reporter who may or may not go by the name of Robbie in this film, who might be a sort of antagonist to Gale while she is in the town, which may or may not be called Fallbrick. The idea is that Gale might hit this mental patient, take their life. It would be a complete accident. The patient might have even run in front of the car. But this reporter named Robbie may paint Gale out to be a villain and say that, you know, she's losing her mind, that the accident was no accident, it was intentional, and might even paint her out to be trying to, or starting, or being involved in some new ghost face attacks because she feels her career is slipping and she wants to profit off it and benefit from it and gain even more fame. Now, obviously this is ridiculous, but I don't know that it would be that far-fetched to have something like this happen in the film, as Gale may also be grappling with not being in the spotlight anymore as she is getting older and the Woodsboro murders and stories of the past are sort of fading. But I think that that's very interesting. I hope that we see with Gale's arc that she is struggling with those issues. I think that that is very Gale Weathers for her to be having trouble finding her footing professionally, not decided whether or not she wants to even continue covering, the murders, as well as still dealing with the trauma and really having to face head on the grief that she has been dealing with after losing Dewey, which we did see some of in Scream 6 when she's having that heartfelt conversation with Sam right outside of the shrine, and also when she looks at, I think it was Dewey's badge or outfit or something, and has a emotional moment. But I want to go back to Anna Camp, who it is believed may be playing one of Sidney Prescott's friends. Now, this is very spoilery. There is a belief that, remember Vince from Scream 5? We know that he was the son of Leslie Macher, Stu Macher's sister. Vince was killed off very early in that movie. It seems like there's a lot of potential that has not been unlocked regarding the Stu Macher side of the family and his sister Leslie. There is this thought that maybe Sidney's friend, who she might have met when she moved into the neighborhood, and who might not be active on social media and who she may not know a lot about her past, that this friend could be Leslie Macher in disguise, or even not in disguise because Sidney wouldn't know what she looks like at this point. And that Leslie Macher could be using this person in this mental facility to orchestrate some of the ghost face attacks. It's possible that the opening could be this person who, let's just say, is being puppeteered by Leslie Macher, a la Mickey Altieri and Mrs. Loomis in Scream 2. Possibly the opening is with Sidney and her family. The person, guy or girl, that Anna Camp's character, Sidney's friend, is puppeteering, maybe was going in to take out Sidney, Mark, and the kids, but only takes out Mark and doesn't get the kids and Sidney because Sidney was able to save the girls. And then the person is hospitalized. Anna Camp's character maybe helps get them out, but that is potentially when they are run over by Gale outside of Sidney's house, ruining Leslie's plan, Anna Camp's character's plan, and then Leslie may have to take matters into her own hands. It may be that Leslie Macher has a son or a daughter in the film who is a friend of Sidney's. Who knows if they will play an accomplice to Leslie or what. Again, this is all speculation. It may not be true. I just think it's fascinating and so much fun to theorize all of this with you all. And I would love to know your thoughts. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that I do not think that the mental patient is going to be someone who we've seen in the past. I think this will be a new character who's obsessed with Sidney and and is possibly being used and taken advantage of by Leslie to carry out some mission. Leslie, who might also be obsessed with Sydney, coupled with the fact that she is angry at Sydney for the loss of her son and brother Stu. We don't know if Stu or Jill Roberts will be in the movie. I expect them not to. I know that there's some chatter about them possibly being the mental patients. I think it's going to be a completely new character, but again, someone who may be taken out toward the middle of the movie. And it would also be unique because they would be dressed up as Ghostface, but we would get their identity, after the opening, since they would be, I think that they would be caught and put into the mental facility. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on what you want to see with Gale's arc. I would love for... Gale obviously needs to survive this movie. I've seen some people speculating that she may die at the end of it, but I think she needs to live. I would love to see her reach a sort of nirvana by the end of the movie and not feel pressured to continue covering the Ghostface killings and not feel pressured to work as hard as she has had, and to just want to be Aunt Gale to Sydney's daughters. We know that Sydney is going to have at least one daughter, Isabel May. We know that she has more than one because she mentions them in Scream 5, and I think that Isabel May will be obviously a focus of the film with Sydney and their relationship. And then the two younger girls, it has been speculated that they will not really be in the picture as much, and they might even be being taken care of by Mark Evans, Sydney's husband's grandma. Mark Evans is grandma, or mom, I should say. But yeah, I would just love Gale to be happy by the end. Maybe get to writing a book about her experience and where she is in life, and maybe something about Dewey. But yeah, where Chad and Mindy fit into this story, and if Martha Meeks will be coming back, I am not sure. I can do another video on that. I'm gonna make one on some more of my opening theories. But I just want to cut this video here. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think about all of this? The mental hospital angle, the mental patient, the possibility of Leslie Macher's involvement in orchestrating these new attacks, possibly with or without an accomplice, and also Gale's arc and what you want to see with her story, and Sydney's. Where do you want her to fit into all of this? Is it more focused on Sydney than Gale, or is it focused on both of their stories? What would you like to see? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, like and comment, and follow me on other socials at Scooby Scream. Love y'all. Cut a Casper. That's a wrap.